Hi, my name is Harrison Marshall. I'm here redoing speech number two. The reason why I am doing the redo on speech number two is because I did not quite have an illusion to my towards my attention getter, and I also didn't have I also came up short on visual aids. But today I'm here to talk to you about the country of Turkey. Turkey has always been a country that I've wanted to visit, and it's on my bucket list. It definitely is. It's way up there as well. Um, but what I'm going to talk about Turkey, history, landmarks, fun places to go. It's just a great place all in all, and I would love to go there one day. I just can't express how much of a dream that is of mine. But going to go over a little bit of history of Turkey. Turkey's history is very, very complex. So, Turkey roots and natives are very, very hard to um, exactly define just because of how muddied up their history has been and how many takeovers of their land there has been. And their land has gone by more than one names, and it's been all scattered across Europe and Central Asia. Um, but their history very first started off over 4,000 years ago. Um, they lived in around Central Asia, but the original people didn't really feel like staying there very long. They wanted to migrate. They wanted to go and do their own thing. So a lot of the people went in their own separate directions and started their own little empires or countries. Like the Great Hun Empire was established due to that, due to the migration of the original Turkish people, and also the Avar Empire. But I'm not going to dive too deep into the very, very past of Turkey. It's very complicated, so I'm not going to get too dove into that. But around the 11th century, they would inhabit the land known as Anatolia. Now, and that's kind of where the Ottoman Empire began as well. Of course, if you're a history nut or if you know a lot about history, you know who the Ottoman Empire or who the Ottoman Empire is. But in the year 1299, that's when the Ottoman Empire truly arose, and that's where today's Turkey's foundation and traditions are based upon is the Ottoman Empire. Um, it was like the rebirth of the land. It lasted up to 623 years. The Ottoman Empire did 623 years, and yet it's not really a much talked about empire like in schools. I wasn't really taught much about the empire. I kind of had to Ottoman Empire. I had to learn that on my own, but it lasted all the way up until past World War One in 1922. That's a very long time for an empire to last that long. It was a stronghold empire, and it was also known as one of the best in this Earth's history. But some places, or I guess landmarks, I should say, that are in Turkey that I really want to visit. One of them is the Suleimani Mosque. That one's in Istanbul on the third hill. It's located on the third hill of Istanbul, the capital of Turkey, for those of you that don't know. And it is also known as one of the biggest attractions there as well. It's definitely a place I would love to visit. Another one is the Basilica Cistern. Now, cisterns are a little bit hard to explain, but basically there are several hundred of them. Yes, several hundred of them underneath the city of Istanbul. And the biggest one, of course, is the Basilica Cistern. It's one of the several hundred again there. They were used as aqueducts, and they were also, of course, used as places for protection and palaces for very higher up people. Um, and the Basilica Cistern, that one consists of a total of 336 columns that are made from other fallen empires and fallen temples. And a cool thing about these columns, though, is a lot of them have the head of Medusa at the base of the column, which is really cool. It's another place I really would love to visit. I love studying and visiting past and really, really old ancient aqueducts, and it's just crazy how that technology was implemented into the technology that we're using today somehow in between those two gaps in time. It's just crazy how it all works out. But a third place that's worth looking into is known as is the city Pamukkale. I think that's how it's pronounced, Pamukkale. Um, it's a town in western Turkey, not too big, but it's known for its mineral-rich thermal waters. that are flowing down a white Treverton terrace on a nearby hillside. Now, that's just scientific terms. To pretty much put it in layman's term, though, it's basically a mineral forest, and it's on a hillside, and there are a bunch of rocks, but basically there are white rocks going down a hillside that have different layers of, I guess you could say, hot springs, because the thermal waters, but there's actually a lot of people that go to these and just swim at them like it's just the regular swimming hole, and it's a really interesting place. You look pictures of it, look at pictures of it, and it's a really scenic place as well. It's not only just fun; it's also really scenic, and it's appealing to the eyes. And really, those are the kind of the places that I like to visit, are more appealing to the eyes, and just tell history by a picture. And I just think that places like this are really interesting, and it just makes Turkey that much more alien compared to the United States. And really, any foreign country to me is interesting, and it really should interest other people as well. Um, but if, of course, you would like to know more about the country of Turkey, I have some ancestry that actually runs through Turkey. I have blood that has came straight from Turkey. I know a lot of information about Turkey. So if you're ever interested in learning more about it, you can always try to get a hold of me, or just come up to me in the hallway, or just anywhere at all. I'm very happy to talk about the country of Turkey. But those are just a few of the places. I was gonna talk about sports, and how much Turkey is a big soccer country, but I'm not gonna run on about that. Not a lot of people like soccer. I'm just one of those weird dudes. But thank you for listening, and again, hopefully you'll look more into the country of Turkey. It's not a really appreciated country, but thank you again. You guys have a wonderful day.